Hey guys, Rob from Georgia, aka VHS82 here with you, and joining me not too far from the great land of Canada, Glenn, aka BDG Reviews. He is but one piece of what is the one and only Bay of Blood podcast. And as well, Body Bags is in the house. We're fresh off our seventh Black and White Nights commentaries, rolling on into episode 8 as we look at Scott Spiegel's Grocery Store Galore Intruder from 1989. So grab your snacks, get that color off your freaking TV, and settle back for what ought to be one hell of an entertainment evening. What's up, man?
Not much, man, but this is gonna be damn fun for sure.
Intruder. I never thought in all of our discussions about what may or may not look all right on black and white. Intruder, for whatever reason, never.
Yeah, never enters into it.
No, not till today. I don't know what it was. I think I was just in the mood for Intruder, and
Yeah,
I just thought I started thinking to myself, what is this? Man, what might this look like? You're in, of course, a grocery store setting, and I mean,
oh yeah.
there's there's something right off the bat. Have you ever worked in a grocery store by chance?
No, never worked in one.
I have a few times, and so it's funny. The first time I ever stumbled on this film, I think in fact I had already worked a stint in a grocery store, and so like I could connect real fast with all the scenes in this movie, like with the compactor in the back, the
hmm
cardboard compactor in the back, and just the back of the store, and just a lot of the nuances that we'll see throughout the film. I could so easily connect, and even with the ticket tape, the old using ticket tape to mark the prices
Yeah.
on the stuff, and just seeing somebody pull out a box cutter. It's just there's so many nuances in this movie, um,
hmm
and having eventually, you know, getting having my own copy of this movie and having worked in a grocery store again,
hmm
it just man, it's so funny. It cracked me up, man. Just I think when I got my synopsis copy, I was closing, in fact, one night, and I brought it with me, and I went all around the grocery store, different parts of the grocery store, and I actually set up the the Blu-ray case just to take some funny pics, and um, I got those buried away. I have to send out a few of those to you, but I got one of where it's back in the meat room near a saw blade, and um, sitting on the cardboard compactor. And,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's so. I mean, as a movie, man, there are few movies that I can connect to really strong. Uh, that like with this because I've been there. I've worked late at night. I've closed in a grocery store. I know where all these things are.
Yeah,
So, in nothing really in the movie. I mean, I guess we'll try to be a little bit more critical, but I don't know if anything in this movie ever really jumped out at me where like I was thinking to myself, eh, nah, that's not gonna happen. Uh,
yeah, yeah.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see as it unfolds. So, when's the first time you ever saw Intruder?
I saw it for the first time. I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago, and essentially, I'd ordered some movies from Full Moon, and they included it as a like special feature, I guess. So I got the signed copy by what's his name, Charles Band for some reason. um, and I just remember watching it the first time. I was thinking like, how have I been sleeping on this movie for so long? How did I not know this was a thing?
So, like, are we talking? Like, when are we talking? When you first saw this? Like, how many years ago?
About 3 or 4 years ago.
Wow. So it really.
Yeah, I mean, I had no clue. I mean, I always saw like, well, I guess maybe it could be the title, like Intruder. It it never screamed. it's just like a very generic title, So probably when it was in video stores, I probably passed it by hundreds of times, just seeing like, okay, Intruder, blah blah blah. I wish I'd seen it earlier now, honestly.
Now, see, I did rent it out of the video store wow, I was probably, this movie comes out in '89, so I'm
Yeah.
19. It probably came out, yeah, right, probably, I'm sure it was in the video store that summer.
Mhm.
Didn't take too long for things to show up. But I remember renting it though, and I think the cover actually, the cover art where you showed our main antagonist, and I think you saw sort of a silhouette of him, but then the shadow he cast is the shadow of a monster.
That's kind of cool.
That was the artwork that snagged me, and I saw that, and I'm like, oh, I gotta see this. And but but that's back in the day when I can't remember if I was thinking to myself, Scott Spiegel, who's this guy? I mean, I don't know if I would have like connected dots, like if I would have thought to myself, oh yeah, this guy wrote Evil Dead 2. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Um, but I did probably, as a kid though, I probably did sit there and think to myself, well, you see Ted Raimi in here, you see Sam Raimi in here, you'll
Hmm.
eventually see Bruce Campbell in here.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, there's that Evil Dead 2 connection, um, big time. And I think I don't know. I mean, I might have been aware enough to think to myself, these are the guys who've been doing special effects, throughout the '80s with the likes of Sam Raimi. Although I think Berger and Nicotero, I think it was those two that first connected on Day of the Dead with Romero.
Yeah, I think so.
Um, so I mean, you're a kid renting things. I can't remember how, how many dots I was connecting along the way. I just knew this is some pretty cool artwork. I'm gonna take it, and then I loved it. I remember loving it as a kid. Just it was crazy.
Yeah.
Um, and then I think I picked up a DVD copy. It wasn't Full Moon. It was I can't remember who put the DVD out, but it wasn't that great. But I did when I picked up the Synapse Blue.
Mm.
I actually passed. Well, one of the reasons I picked up the Synapse Blue was because I wanted to hand down my DVD copy. I gave it to actually my grocery manager.
Oh.
Um, he wasn't the store manager, but he was my grocery manager. He's the guy I
Yeah.
actually worked for most of the time. And he's he was a bit of a horror movie guy, but he wasn't like me or anything. I mean, he didn't like really go super out of his way. But I remember when I first asked him, I'm like, hey man, have you ever seen Intruder? And he just looked at me and he goes, what is that? And I'm like, seriously, man, you're a grocery store manager, man. You've never seen Intruder? Come on now, you got to see Intruder. And he's like, I've never seen it. So I'm like, well, you got to see it. So I think I went ahead and ordered the synopsis, and knowing I ordered it, I brought my DVD copy and I just gave it to him. I said, here's a gift, man. Just you got to go home and watch this, man. You got to watch it tonight. Just watch it tonight. And he did, man. He came. Oh, he was like walking on the ceiling the next day. He's like, this is like the greatest horror movie I've ever seen. And I'm like, I told you, man. You've been missing out all your whole life, man. And he's like, yeah, you know, well,
Yeah.
like me, we both could connect to it because we both, came out of the grocery store environment. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but so you got K&B in here doing some work. You've got I've already mentioned a few of the cameos that have come along. Anything does anything stand out in this movie to you?
Um. Honestly, just kind of for me, one of the big standouts was the Bruce Campbell cameo, simply because, you know, at least on my DVD, he's listed right there on the front. Like he's like the main star of it, sort of thing. And I remember when I first saw him, like, well, there's no Bruce Campbell in this.
Right.
And then he showed up, and I was like, yes. And then he was like gone. You know, it's a short cameo, but it's a memorable one.
I can't. I think it seems like I think my vague memories were I think I was more excited to actually see both Sam and Ted in this.
Yeah.
That to me was really cool. Because I mean I was by the time I saw Intruder, I was already years being a huge fan of Evil Dead 2, and
Yeah.
so I mean I knew their work, and I knew of K and B. I knew those guys. I'd seen the documentaries of those guys, and so it was like 1989, man. Is like
Oh yeah.
what a way to say goodbye to the 80s, and there was a few movies that came out in '89, but this definitely is one that helped '89, helped the '80s end on a good note.
Oh yeah. Oh, apparently it was originally entitled The Night Crew, but distributors felt the film would be more marketable if it was given a more generic slasher movie title.
Interesting.
Yeah, that kind of at least for me, that kind of worked against it. So, I probably would have seen The Night Crew more so than I would have seen something called Intruder.
See, I think it wasn't the title as much as it was like I said, the artwork that snagged me.
I think with me, if I remember right, I think it must have been one of the titles. It was in like sideways, so you only saw the spine. Because, like I said, I remember the name from the video stores, but I don't remember the cover. And if the cover is what you said it was, which I have no doubt it was, I probably would have wanted to pick it up. So all I can think is I never saw the actual front cover. Because at the very least, I would have picked it up to have just seen, what this is.
I was just trying to pull it up real quick, see if I
Hmm.
can find
Oh, wow.
it.
Apparently, in pre-production, Toby Hooper was originally going to direct it.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, the Paramount VHS cover, along with various other video and DVD releases of the films and the film's trailer, all reveal the identity of the killer, thus spoiling the film's dramatic tension. Oh, man. That's pretty funny.
I don't know if this is it or not, but I'm gonna say it. This is kind of gives the idea, I think.
Hmm.
Um, Here we go. Yeah, I just sent it to you, Messenger.
Oh, yeah. You see, I'd have wanted to pick that up.
See, I have a hard time remembering if that exactly was it or not, but it was something to that effect. You saw the silhouette of the guy, and then you saw sort of the shadow as like the monster, and that sort
Yeah.
of hooked me in.
Yeah, and that's thing right there from the creators of Evil Dead 2. Yeah, I'd have picked
Yeah.
that up in a heartbeat. So I must have just seen either like the spine or they had a different cover or something. I don't know, but yeah, I would have wanted to have picked that up.
So but the big difference here tonight is watching this in black and white.
Oh yeah,
Now I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We'll see, but like we weren't sure about stage fright either.
yeah,
And that ended up, watch, we're going to get towards the end of this. We're just going to be like, this was like one of the greatest things ever. And, Will's going to have missed out on this. But we're trying really hard to save, keep all the best ones off to the side. Um,
yep. Or
but
at the very least, the ones that will actually want to watch. Unlike Phantasm.
yeah, that's definitely got to come up
Yeah.
here soon. So okay, so we're working off different um, or different releases. So
Yeah.
Um, we'll just, I guess, get ourselves to that 000.
Yeah, that'll work.
Let's see.
Hold on here.
Well, I'll be. I think I'm there.
Okay, I'm at 000. Runtime of 127.25.
What do you got? 127.35.
127.25. So probably a shortness in the credits or whatever. I doubt there's much you could cut in 10 seconds.
Hold on. Oops. Hold on here. Okay. 00000.
Yep.
You ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Count us down.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
First thing we got is the moon.
Yeah. Phantom Productions. Is your print in widescreen or full screen?
Full.
Hmm.
Full screen.
Okay. Yeah. Same here. So.
I don't know if there is a widescreen release. Is there?
Nah. I'm assuming this is probably the way it was shot. Um. I'm cool with that if that's the way it was shot.
I've never seen a widescreen edition of this.
No. That's one thing I definitely don't like. I love widescreen movies, but I don't like if they crop a full screen movie to fit in a widescreen presentation. And I've seen it done. It's stupid. Craig Stark, Ted Raimi.
Ed Raimi, saw Sam Raimi's name up there.
Oh yeah.
God, man, these are like the icons of us growing up as kids.
Oh yeah.
That is special appearance. Man himself.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to see some K and B names here. Come on.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Greg Nicotero, Robert Kurtzman, Howard Berger. Man, there's the heroes of our childhood right there.
Indeed.
But you know, it's funny. They didn't actually officially form K and B until 1989.
Oh.
It's
So
just really late. I think it was 89. Really late in the game.
yeah, so this pretty much could have been
I think this was their
the
first.
movie that
Yeah,
started it. You know?
this was the first official film as K and B.
Nice.
Um, now they work together and stuff. Of course.
Oh yeah.
Since 84, 85 up through, and develop their relationships with one another.
Mhm.
Scott Spiegel, man, writer on Evil Dead 2, he finally making a movie. What a way to do it, man! To be able to get some of these guys that you worked with in the past and being part of the Evil Dead. And
Yeah. Well, of course, let's be honest. At this point in their careers, they were probably just happy to get some work. This was quite a bit before Sam Raimi did Spider-Man and became the huge name. This is actually looking pretty good in black and white, honestly. Those old school Cheerios, man. I remember those.
I
Apparently,
love.
this film is partially based around Scott Spiegel's experiences working in the real Walnut Lake Market in Michigan. And it's also apparently something of a remake of a Super 8 thing he did called Night Crew.
Huh.
And featured a more the story was a more was a slasher story called Night Crew and featured a more Halloween-inspired killer. Well, that's kind of cool. Yeah, man. It's really the perfect setting for a horror movie, really.
Well,
Oh, poor guy.
it is, and I think up to this point it had not been done. So I mean, um,
No,
you
no.
had a whole decade of the slasher craze and things being done about as many times as they can be done until you suddenly put you know your kids in a grocery store and
Yeah,
and the reasons we'll see behind why it is our antagonist is doing what he is doing
yeah.
it's you can't completely 100%. You can't. Well, I guess the right way. You kind of can actually a little bit see where he was coming from,
Yeah, you
or
kind
she,
of get it.
or she. We don't know
Yeah,
who's the killer yet, but it just it does it is interesting how they try to give us some. Well, it wasn't the first. I mean, you kind of sympathize with Mrs. Voorhees once it became pretty evident that the reason why she was doing what she was doing.
yeah, yeah. But this guy, I mean,
This
or
could be,
girl, or
this could be fun,
yeah, man, those are some real '80s pants she's wearing. I have to admit, that's something about the '80s I don't miss. I love that, like, reflection shot. Yeah, when you actually think about like a grocery store type thing, you know, if you were to try to hide from somebody in a grocery store, it could be quite difficult. I mean, there's not really that many like places to hide from someone, is there?
Oh yes, there is. I mean,
Is there really? I mean, like in
oh,
the
the back room alone, man, is. I mean, you've got your equivalent of an attic sort of, or you have your high rafter way up top where this storage areas and
yeah.
all the many different coolers, dry coolers, cold coolers. Of course, for your frozen goods,
Mm.
your supply closets. I mean, it really is, especially in a bigger grocery store. Now, this is a small version of of a grocery store, um,
Yeah.
but even when you get that camera view from up high looking down, you can kind of see where the store is bigger than what it feels when you're on the ground.
Yeah.
But see, they're probably right now. I would imagine they're probably up a flight of stairs in the back of the store or to the side. Oh yeah, see, he's looking down.
Man, TV Guide magazine. I remember that. That's one thing I always love about movies from like the '80s or whatever. When you see stuff that, doesn't really exist anymore and you still remember it, it's just kind of a nice little reminder.
I want to see a movie where I see some kid bumbling through an HBO book.
I wouldn't be surprised. It'll happen eventually, I'm sure.
You owe me an explanation. Our first major red herring.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's a little bit on edge.
A little bit. generic motorcycle jacket wearing, ruffian. I love that. She's like, hold him still. I'm gonna punch him in the gut. At this point, wouldn't they have just called the police?
Or just ganged up on him or something before Sam.
Yeah.
Now, see, that's irony, isn't it? You always hear stories about how Sam tortured Bruce
Oh, yeah.
all the time, and here's Sam getting thrown around. Bruce had to have loved that, man.
Oh, yeah.
Poetic justice there.
I mean, hell, he was probably on the set that day.
He probably told Scott, dude, whatever you can do, man, put him through the ringer.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised at all. Open 8 a.m. till 9 p.m. Most grocery stores nowadays are like 24 hours, aren't they?
Yeah, when I worked at a grocery store, I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure.
Did people do this when you worked there?
I don't remember that per se. Now, I like this shot. That's a nice shot.
It is. High shots are always work for some reason. And the meat hooks and.
See, I was going to say is I remember when I worked at the grocery store, we always had a night crew that was there stocking shelves over the course of the night. But I get down here and they don't down here in the South, at least where I live. There's you don't really see night crews at all. They basically stock the shelves as they go throughout the day. Trucks show up in the morning or whatever, and they just start, as soon as the truck shows up, they start stocking. But I was used, when I worked in a grocery store in New York, our trucks would come in, anywhere around 6, 7 in the evening. Our job was to take care of everything on the truck, get it into its right holding place, and then when the night crew showed up around 9 or whatever, no, it wasn't even that early. I'm sorry, it was closer to 11, I think. Night crew would show up, and then they would work off the stock throughout the night.
Man, this is actually looking quite good. Like the contrast is nice, and
yeah, you're already started getting this idea that there is a lot of nooks and crannies in a store for someone or something to hide. Yeah, I've had a manager that looked almost like this guy. It stereotypes both the store manager and his assistant there. They stereotype him pretty well. Little maintenance area back here.
Yeah. In black and white, this looks like something like right out of like Night of the Living Dead. Like that basement in Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah. No, it's going to be interesting is when we get. And there's Ted.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, Henrietta. Um, it's going to be interesting to see some of the uh, major special effects pieces as they are in black and white.
Oh yeah, for sure.
One I'm thinking of in particular that I don't know if we've really seen anything like that since, well, I'll throw one movie out, Absurd,
Hmm.
the infamous buzzsaw scene.
Ah, yes.
I think everyone's on edge right now just because of that boyfriend.
Yeah, and I mean, like I have, just sticks his hand through there.
Now, see, most of the shelves that I'm used to having dealt with have dividers in them. You couldn't do that.
Yeah,
But then again, this is a small store.
yeah.
Could have been very well
Well,
like that.
I mean, I guess it would make sense. Also, you could like load stock from the back, couldn't you? Especially there, that's all beer, so you could constantly
Oh
be.
wait, that's cool. That's a cooler area. That's a yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm thinking more lines if we see it in like the regular aisles.
Ah,
See, that looks good right there.
it does. I mean, like
He does have a Night of the Living Dead feel, doesn't it?
it really does. And it's like, whoa.
You're not going to have to worry about a killer. You're going to kill yourself off.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that use of shadow and everything is just perfect.
There he is. You seriously get a life. Right? Look at that old Pepsi can.
Oh yeah, I remember those so well. Yeah, like I said, I love seeing movies where you see like old things that like you used to see when you were a kid or whatever, and then all of a sudden, you don't see them anymore, and then all of a sudden you do, and you're like, wow, man, I remember those.
So, like, you know, what's your earliest memory of like what was the common way to drink soda when you were a kid?
Uh, just from the can.
From the can.
Yeah, crack the can, drink it.
See, when I was a kid, it was still the how it was like the 16 ounce or whatever, heavy glass bottles,
Oh yeah.
and really even machines, man, would pop out those bottles.
And the funny thing is, they're kind of going back to like the glass bottles now. You can buy them again. Where for the longest time, if you wanted like a glass bottle of Coke or whatever, it'd be like, no, they don't exist. That's a really nice shot. The
It is.
reflections and oh wow.
We always talk smack when we're on the other side.
Yeah, well, that's the way you do it. When I like how he just backs out into the darkness. Almost like a reverse Michael Myers. Walnut Lake Market. Oh, okay. So this is actually the market that Scott Speedman or whatever worked at, I guess.
It's a pretty pivotal scene right here.
Yep.
Ah, there it is. We always had one of those employees. It never worked anyways. What's the big deal? You know what's funny about that? Even today, man, even where my wife works, you've got people, store manager, whatever, that, they were baggers when they were kids, and they just worked their
Yeah.
way up. It's still one of those, it's one of those places that if you just decide that's what you want out of life, I mean,
Yeah.
you're a hard worker. I mean, grocery stores are awesome for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
See now, there we go. Look at that,
Mm.
classic Ted.
You gotta love the product placement. It's like, we'll put this Pepsi right in the middle so everyone can see it.
I can't tell you how many end caps I've filled, how many shelves I've stocked. Man. Uh-oh. So far up to this point, no one has died, has there?
No.
So we're a little ways in here without any beginnings of a body count.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny that phone going off like that. It
Yeah.
sounds just like Nancy's phone in Nightmare.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it does.
So I know we have things like stock footage. Do we have stock audio clips?
I, I would assume so.
Oh, we need a phone call here. Okay, yeah, I got one here. They used on Nightmare.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, it's just like it's just a bigger version of us putting our own little videos together.
Yeah.
Except they have a whole smorgasbord of things to pull from.
Yeah. I love it that he stood there like some low rent Michael Myers. And I love that they're actually, they're really leaning heavily on the, you know, on the red herring that is him.
It's funny, I never thought about it until now, but being that we're watching the black and white, the
Hmm.
setup time almost seems longer.
Yeah.
Oh, and I love this shot from the
Oh,
telephone.
that's awesome. The funny thing is, you got people nowadays who wouldn't even know what that meant. They'd think it was like some Instagram filter or something. Like, no, that's what used to use to dial the phone.
Do you remember how long it took us to freaking call someone?
Oh,
Oh, you forget a number.
oh well, hell, I remember when, at least over here, when they first brought in the area codes. Oh my God! And then all of a sudden, instead of just being, like 7 numbers, it was like now 9, and you had to go adding all these extra numbers, and you had to spin it every time, and it was like, ugh.
I love all of these unique shots of just like putting yourself underneath a
Yeah,
piece of glass just so you can see.
yeah, and it was like, like who would ever think like, what? I'll just put a camera down here and see how this looks. But it works because it's so odd of a scene. I still
Oh, come on, it's not that heavy. Stop. There's probably nothing even in it.
Yeah, oh, and there's that
The old.
ticketing gun.
Oh, yes. When I first started at grocery, we were using those things, so that's how far back I come, man. I remember using those things.
I used to remember seeing people in grocery stores using those, and I always thought, wouldn't it be kind of neat just to grab one and like put like a lower price on stuff that you really want. Like I want this Coke, but I don't want to pay like 75 cents or whatever. I'll put like a 10-cent thing on it or something. I don't think it would have worked, but still.
Still no body count, man.
No, I mean, it's a real gradual build up, but it works.
Like I said, it feels like it takes its time even more in black and white. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's weird. It's funny. I'm not sure how, you know, uh, crews work together anymore. But I mean, I remember when I first started working grocery, a lot of what we see in this movie is a lot of what I had being part of a crew. It was just you had that close knit sort of.
Hmm.
I mean, a lot of times, especially if you close together, a lot of times you'd go out and do something after work.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, working fast food too. I remember, and I don't know if you'd ever see anything like this today, but I remember our whole closing shift when I worked at Wendy's. We went to go see Pink Floyd in concert,
Oh wow.
and they literally had to. There's another interesting camera shot.
It is. Like,
He really plays with it, man. This whole movie's like experimentation and where can we put the camera?
yeah.
But they actually had to pull in employees from several other stores to fill up our shift that night. Um, but that was back when I mean that stuff kind of happened. I don't know if something like that could even happen in like today.
Yeah, I
But
don't
we had
know.
a we had a an, assi- we had a one of not well she was an assistant manager, co-manager, not a co. She was just an assistant manager, but she basically asked us who all wanted in, and then knowing that most of us were all kids, she just basically put all the tickets on her credit card, and then
Oh wow.
we paid her back, and then we all went together as a crew, and
That's cool.
Pink Floyd was on their Momentary Lapse of Reason tour.
Oh man. I saw them on their Division Bell tour. That was a good show.
Is this we get close to the story?
I
You
think
know,
so.
what I'm talking about? The
I
crazy
think so.
story he tells.
Yeah. I just love that yet again there was another Pepsi product placement shot.
This looks good.
It does. And the thing is, when you actually think about it, this is a movie. The way it's set up and everything, you could have filmed this back in the 50s. Because it's one location. Other than the clothes styles and everything, you could have fit this in back like in the 50s or 60s. So it looks like it belongs in black and white.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah. You're kind of like, I'm trying to eat here. Come on.
You know, I don't know about you, but I mean, I remember working with, working with kids that didn't look that much different than these kids.
Hmm. I just love that it takes this many people to go open the door.
I'm off the golf. Off the mat. I'm Bill Roberts. I didn't work out with that guy, so it's sweet golf. Well, all a little while ago. Well, you can make these breads for a steak. No. We ran a check on this guy, Craig Peterson. Well, all we know is that he's out on parole now.
I would have doubted if these guys had their fair share of movies back in the day.
Yeah.
Like way back in the day.
Mhm. I mean, I get the idea that these two would have always played cops. And they would have always been together playing cops. I kind of get that feeling. I love that he can't open the door.
You know, last thing for already.
Where are the cops?
One of those cops was in the War of the Worlds, 53.
Oh, nice.
Some character named Zippy, although he was uncredited.
Oh.
I'm just looking for anything that stands out real fast.
Yeah.
That was one that stood out. Screaming Eagles. The Invisible Boy. He's Dragnet, of course. There you go. There's your cop show. Stagecoach. What the other guy here?
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of TV, old TV. Remember the Beverly Hillbillies?
Oh, man.
Right, Little House on the Prairie, Knight Rider, a lot of TV. Old days, yeah. Yeah, neither of them were big actors, but they did a lot of stuff though.
Yeah, well, I mean, can't go wrong with that. I mean, I guess that's probably, the better idea in like a low budget movie like this. Get like decent actors or whatever that do a lot of work but aren't huge names.
Uh-oh. Is this the first one?
I love that cut. I love it. And who the hell cuts watermelon like that? Well, Ted Raimi, apparently.
Safety first, right behind him.
Yeah.
That man.
Money consistently now for the past 2 years.
That pointy instrument. Yeah, that's a foreshadowment.
Oh, yeah.
I love it when they just put things right out in the open. It's like, yeah. It's like the kid earlier had his hand up on one of those meat hook things.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, this is getting into play.
Yeah, we're going to see this again. We get closer to the compactor scene. I got a funny story about that.
Cool.
You got to feel for these guys, oh man. I mean, feeling like they got to sell out, but
Yeah.
the one guy's got not enough shares, so he can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your whole life, man. That's all he's done. He's spent his whole life.
Yeah.
and they're in a small store, so the chances of them, you know, either of them finding work in another grocery store are probably pretty.
Yeah. I mean, that's the sort of thing you would have assumed
So,
made.
we had a shoplifter in our store one time,
Yeah.
and so we always had our special code stuff that we would say over the intercom and stuff that we would know that we had a shoplifter. So
Yeah.
I was in the back room, and I heard the code come over, and so I called my manager, and he's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "In the back," and he goes, "Well, he's come your way." I'm like, "Get out." He says, "No, really, he's back there somewhere. Keep your eyes open." Um, and so I had to make sure the doors were all locked and sealed in the back, so he couldn't get out the exits.
Mhm.
And as I was coming around the corner, it's a really long back room. But as I was coming around the corner, I heard something from over where the compactor was,
Mhm.
and I'm like looking, I'm like, and then it suddenly just hit me. I'm like, "No, you're not that stupid, are you?" And so I kind of there was another phone off to the side, so I grabbed up the phone and I called. I got my manager again, and I'm like, "I think he's in the compactor." And he goes, "Really?" I don't. Unless you've seen him somewhere else, I think he might be. So him and the other manager came back, and they kind of nonchalantly were carrying on just conversation. They walked up to the compactor, and we're all just kind of shooting it back and forth, and. Every time he hit the button, and the thing starts to come down, and that dude jumped out so fast. He thought he was going to die for sure. And
Oh,
we
that's
just tell him
awesome.
the cops came and had a little talk with him in the back room. Yeah.
Oh man,
I've never
that's
seen that
kind
funny.
of awesome.
I was crying, I was laughing so hard. Dude literally thought he was going to hide out in the compactor,
I mean, I guess in theory, it could have worked if no one realized. But still, I mean, it's not the brightest, not the smartest choice in the world, that's for sure.
See, that's, you're talking back in the day when, man, you didn't let just people just walk out of your store, not like today.
Yeah.
Today, they just pass it off as, well, we got a line item for this, for money that walks out the door, just let the person go. But not back when I was a kid, man.
Yeah.
You didn't let them go, you, you held them.
Hmm. Oh.
Ooh, that hurt.
Yeah. I love the cuts though. I love, he gets hit in the head with like a hammer and they cut to like bag of potatoes, whatever, falling on the ground. It's like a perfect cut. Like with that damn watermelon.
There's another meat hunk.
Hmm.
Ah, man, these are nice shots.
They are.
It's almost Carpenter-esque, isn't it? I mean, always wanted to
Oh
show
yeah.
you places.
Yeah. And with nothing happening, just flashes of different spots. I love it.
Some idiot who's seeing the dailies are going, "What is this junk? This is
Yeah. Does this guy do anything other than like eat and drink the property of the store? I guess not, because he's gone through like almost a six pack.
He's got some heavy stuff going on up there."
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh. That's a cue. Yeah, that's exactly how it sounded.
Good old Ted Raimi just there. Not paying any attention. And here we go. Oh.
Well, she would have liked that.
Oh, he did definitely.
Of course, he would have been like, I didn't see enough of the eyeball being penetrated.
Exactly. I don't know what it was with Fulci and eyeballs, but you know.
I guess these are just what we call POV shots, right?
Yeah.
We get a number of varied POV shots. It's
I mean, we get POV shots from things that have no point of view.
yeah.
Like this. It's a POV shot of like what? The bucket? I don't know.
It's just having fun with the camera, man. You could tell these guys are just having fun making this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
This was an absolute experiment. Just let's have fun.
Oh yeah. Apparently it says though. What was it here? Where is that? There we go. Apparently this entire movie was shot using short ends, whatever short ends are. I'm assuming it means like offcuts of film, maybe, or something. Short ends. Okay, so essentially, yeah, this movie was shot with leftover film.
Huh, now that's interesting.
Yeah. Partial roll of unexposed film stock left over during a motion picture production.
I wonder if in a way all these varied POV shots aren't a way just to kind of keep you off kilter in terms of, because you know some of the shots are from the point of view of the killer, we just don't know which ones.
Yeah, that's true.
It's an interesting way to just have fun with it.
Yeah.
Oh, that is terrible, man. That's not how you do it, man. That's not a good face job. Golly.
Is that an eyeball? Yeah, that's an
It,
eyeball. Okay. Why is okay? I don't know.
hiding stuff behind one row. That's not.
Special kind of lazy.
I'm telling you what, man. It took me forever not to reface after myself, just being a customer walking into a store.
Mm-hmm.
I was so used to facing in 2, 3 deep. Oh, here we go. Poor Ted.
Yeah. Who hacks with a knife like that? Other than Ted Raimi, apparently. Oh.
Oh!
Oh, that was perfect. The headphones just fallen. That was perfect. What a cut.
Nice or sharp, please be careful. Worst cut, worst cut. Now see, guy doesn't know how to use a box cutter, man.
No.
Worst cut I ever got in a grocery store wasn't by a box cutter. I got a cardboard cut.
Really?
Yeah, I was cutting the cardboard, getting the product out when I reached in too fast and caught my thumb on the edge of the cardboard. And believe it or not, man, those edges are sharp enough. You get a cardboard cut, man, those things are nasty.
Wow.
Nasty, nasty. Way worse than a paper cut. But that guy's not. He wasn't even caught in the box the right way.
This movie was brought to you by Tide and Lysol.
Yes, why cut it out? Right. Hey, Dick, throw me your cutter. Okay. Just let me have it. Mine's broke.
See, you don't go throwing box cutters over. One way to poke an eyeball out.
Yeah.
Poor Ted.
Yep.
What if his Walkman's still going?
I guess so. Because, I mean, I doubt he'd have turned it off.
Tequila bananas. Still popping. Uh-oh, Peter Tom.
This is why we have ladder safety drills. I love that.
Well, that's why I was thinking about those ticket guns, man. He got a bad one, man. Oh, it was such a pain. And I remember, right? It's like I think we had our own guns that had our names on them.
Yeah.
Shut the fucking door. What? Man, what are you doing? Shut the door, man. Huh? You guys quit screwing around here trying to work. Don't leave the beer cooler door open either, please.
You know what's so funny? In color, that would almost kind of be over the top-ish, but in black and white, it's not really quite.
No, it just kind of works. I mean, that's something that I find always kind of surprises me, just how well stuff works in black and white. You know, just how effective it is. Like, hello.
Hey, who's that? Tim? Tim, I know it's you, right? Tim? This isn't amusing, Tim. Are you gonna give old Bob another wedger?
I wish we would have had that much room to walk around ours like that. We always had crap stashed behind it.
Yeah.
Very funny, yeah. Ah! Yeah? Yeah. Oh, wow, it's Tim. What? Why? Tim, you look horrible. You don't look down. You're like catatonic.
I love how all this is going on, like nobody, hears anything or. Oh, that's awesome. They really like that shot of the moon.
Yeah, it's funny how they
That
keep.
that must be stock footage. They must have bought that, and they're like, "Damn it! If we paid for this, we're getting our money's worth."
I have to say though, I've never seen meat fun like this.
No.
I mean, it might come in big chunks and everything, but it's not like that.
Yeah.
You'd have to have a pretty skilled meat guy working the day cutting that stuff down.
Mm. Yes, it's a hand. Oh. Oh, that's damn. I love how the killer's all of a sudden gone to like Jason Voorhees level strength. They can pick someone up with one hand. Then again, it is Sam Raimi. He's not very big.
It is funny to think of how many major product names they have showing off though. Kellogg's, Tide.
Yeah.
You can't really get away with that stuff today without paying buku money.
Yeah. Well, probably back then it was like, contact these companies and say, hey, you want to be in a movie? Okay. Give us like, a couple $100 and you're in the movie.
Asshole! Look cover before you throw it over. Ready?
It's one thing you always hear like Rob Zombie on his commentaries talking about how much money it is, man, just to get the usage of music,
Yeah.
even to showcase people's bands posters and stuff. And uh, I think in H2 he talked about how they really lucked out because they had a couple local bands that just handed their stuff over for free and let them.
That's the sort of thing I always reckon, like, if you have a band, even if you're like a successful band, you would think that, the opportunity to have something of yours show up on film, you'd be like, yes, I'll do that. I'll let you do that for free. Thank you. Except for maybe a band like Metallica or whatever, would want like, $100,000 for it, but that's a
Who
great
who
shot.
who did the original I Am Evil?
Um, oh, Diamond Head? I think it was Diamond Head.
It's so funny, yeah, because they is that Diamond Head that they play in H2 when she's having her snap moment in the car.
I think it is, yeah.
Sit here.
I know Metallica did a cover to that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Diamond Head.
It's funny, guys, the pig's feet.
It was probably cheaper to get the original than it was to get Metallica's.
I'm really taken back by how good this looks in black and white. I really did not think.
I love the use of shadow. I mean, it pops so much more in black and white than it does in color.
Now, see, I tell you,
Go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna say, in real life uh, scenarios, that's where you always put up your holiday stuff, man. You hid it away up in the rafters and stuff, and you get to a holiday, you pull it all down, get it back up again.
Apparently, at this place, they really like Halloween. Because, I mean, that's pretty much everything they have up there, just like Halloween masks and stuff. That's kind of a cool Phantom of the Opera mask, though.
And I was gonna say the Frankenstein's pretty legit too.
Yeah. They're probably. I bet you they're all like Don Post masks or something. He totally is.
The red hair, you will not. You won't die.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're totally playing him up like a low-rent Michael Myers. I love that. He's like, forget about you. I got other things to do.
That's so creepy to think that guy's still alive. It reminds you of that character from Session 9 who's just wandering around the asylum.
Yeah.
Haven't had a makeshift lobotomy.
Oh. That's a movie we definitely got to watch in black and white.
Yeah. Now that definitely is a throwback to Friday the 13th.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, seriously? This is the one scene of all the scenes I'm curious to see what it looks like in black and white.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that's brutal.
Yeah, that looks worse in black and white.
It is.
It is so worse. Well, you know what? The prosthetic head or whatever. I mean, all that stuff gets washed out.
It does. Essentially, anything that would make you think, like, oh, you know, that's like a fake head, kind of disappears with.
See, that's another reason why. Yeah, we got to do the Thing 11. To just comment on how much that CGI gets washed out.
Yeah.
This movie has such a weird sort of, almost like a, well, I don't know, maybe not, but almost like a Twilight Zone surrealness.
Mm.
Parts of it, aspects of it.
I could have totally saw like Rod Serling or whatever at like the beginning, like imagine a group of kids working.
Yeah.
I don't do a very good Rod Serling, but you know, imagine if you will.
So many big names. Arm & Hammer down there. I saw Huggies earlier. I mean, you just couldn't get away with that today.
No. Then Econo by.
But you know, it does make you wonder how many brand names do you see in on the shelf when, like in a movie like The Mist.
Oh yeah.
Because if there are, you know, they paid buku money.
Yeah.
Here, I don't think they even thought about it. They just threw it all up, and no one even thought to say anything.
Probably, yeah. The only one I can think is maybe Pepsi. I think Pepsi might be product placement. Because, you know, how every time a Pepsi can shows up, it's like dead in the center of the screen and everything, you know? Don't worry, this is just what we feed our lobster. That's why they're so nice and plump and juicy.
I think one of the pics, if I remember right, one of the pics that I told you I took on my Synapse Blue at the grocery store,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I wrapped it in a meat package too.
Oh, that's awesome.
I have to go back. They're all in one of my Facebook folders. I have to.
Yeah. That's really a hell of a way to go for a character, isn't it? Meat hook through like the jaw slash chin slash neck thing. You have a hook. Use it.
Yeah, really.
Here, hold that.
Nice shot.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign.
Nope. You suck.
Oh, that sucked.
I love that half off.
Yeah, time to make a bail. Ain't enough of those, my time.
Oh.
Ah, there you go.
I like that she's smart enough to like cover her mouth and like stifle the scream. How many times have you seen movies where they find like something like that and they're just kind of like ooh and like let the killer know exactly where they are? Oh yes, that's usually what happens when a store has all the lights off. They're usually closed. Oh. I'm pretty sure that would have killed him, wouldn't it?
I guess it depends where that hook went in.
Uh, Right in the neck, I would assume. Yeah, that would make you quite dead. Or at the very least, bleeding profusely.
Now that's Renee Estevez right there.
Yeah?
I think that's Renee Estevez. I just saw a comment earlier that said, it was really sort of too bad that she didn't go on to do bigger um, screen queen type roles.
Mm.
But everything just sort of get darker.
Mm.
We got a mystery guest.
Mm.
Oh, we've seen this before, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Stop breaking the back of the store. Son of a bitch, knock me off my own hammer.
I remember a distinct character saying something to the effect of, "Oh, I'm just a friend of the Christies."
Oh, yes. I'm a friend of the Christies. I'm Mrs. Voorhees. Yes. Awesome.
Uh-oh.
The, the funny thing is, he could have totally played that off. It could have been, I was trying to get to you downstairs. Why did you attack my hand? Or something.
That's such a weird Twilight Zone vibe. I've never even really thought about that before.
Yeah.
I guess.
He always called the shots on every business deal down there. I couldn't let that son of a bitch take the store away from me. The store's my whole life. I had to kill him.
Midnight crew had nothing to do with it.
I couldn't let anybody stop me. I just thought I was able to carry him away.
You're dead.
Oh, the fact he licks it up.
I'm just crazy about this store.
I'm just crazy about this store. That's awesome. That's a hell of a strong bottle.
Yeah. Here's the thing, you still got all that stuff swinging.
Mm.
This actually looks better in black and white, the scene, than it does in color.
Yeah.
They play with so many different things in this movie.
Jiffy Pop. Oh man, I remember Jiffy Pop.
Now see, she sits there the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Maybe, just maybe. But how many times have we seen someone, find a good hiding spot and then they end up leaving it?
Yeah.
Hmm. That would be a little unnerving.
I like that she takes both of them.
Now that you know what you're dealing with, you got a chance.
Yeah.
You just decide to take the threat head on.
Mm-hmm.
God, these shots are great.
They really are.
And it's so funny. You look at this how this shot is just sort of off angle,
Yeah.
like he is.
Yeah.
Off, man. He's off.
I love that he thought to put those
Because now look at
whatever they
her.
were back on, you know.
It's all straight.
Yeah.
You saw him, it was like at that weird sort of off angle. Now you're here with her, and it's like everything's straight.
Yeah.
God, what was it? It's 2020. This is 89. All these serials are still with us.
Yeah.
Of course, I can't remember the last time I saw a bottle of wheat germ on the shelf.
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe.
Yeah. That would go through on like the second hit. Mm-hmm. I just love that. Dong.
See, all that the high pitched music cues almost reminds you of Twilight Zone too.
Yeah, for sure. Mhm.
I like how towards the end here how everything sort of slows back down.
Yeah.
Dang, you got a lot of toilet paper in stock there though.
Yeah. Not anymore, they wouldn't.
These guys, of course, poor guy's still alive. Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh, literally using him as a meat puppet. It's awesome. Just stab him. Yeah, it's like you're right there.
He's been waiting this whole time just to redo this.
Yeah. Okay, that has to be the weakest run I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, well, I'll say this though. I mean, if this were in color, that head crop would look pretty cheesy, but it doesn't look near as cheesy in black and white.
Yeah, for sure.
This guy's still hanging around? Come on. Oh, nothing like getting clubbed over the head with a head.
Oh man, that's awesome. He's just wailing on him with the head. Yeah, I'll just leave this here.
Use of shadows, man. Use of shadows.
Yeah.
Finally, we find a window in the back. Or doorway, whatever.
I like that this means, he somehow got out, got all the way over there, got on the ground, crawled under her truck, and then pulled her out through it. I love that she had to pay to make that phone call. You know, even back then, I think 911 was a free call, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
Jennifer Rutt, I'm at 2100 Walnut Lake Road. This is an emergency. I need help.
I love the fact, you know, he's taking the knife to the heart, yet he's still, you know, kicking ass.
He's just crazy about that store.
Yeah. Oh. He's actually doing surprisingly little damage considering he's hitting him with a meat cleaver. Like, my head is bleeding. I was beat in the head with another head.
You know, I do believe I saw Goof a little bit earlier.
Yeah?
We'll have to, when this is over, we'll have to go back and rewind.
Cool.
I think there was a production hand in the back that
Ah.
got in scene. God, you gotta love how this unfolds.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
This is freaking classic, man.
It is. It really is.
Kill him. They got bodies all over the place. They're on the you say,
You know, it's funny, they never followed this film up.
It is really. I mean, I guess it's one of those things. I can see it as a standalone, but you know, you could do something, you know, like 20 years later, sort of thing.
Yeah, you could. That's how it works, man. You just, you know, he's owner of a
Yeah.
store. Hey, look at that. Greg Nicotero was a townie in a car. Yeah, he owns his own store, and then something just trips him off.
Yeah.
It's almost a part of the score here almost feels like a bit of a nod towards Manfredini.
Yeah.
Score.
Oh, the special effects weapons and special effects props. This is a movie that really works in black and white.
Oh,
I mean,
you want a little piece of trivia?
Yeah, sure.
The Basil Polidorius, however you say his name, he contributed to the soundtrack for, and I'm going to butcher it. I don't, you know how to say it better than I. That one killer shark movie, Tintoria.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was the very first thing he ever did, contributing to a soundtrack.
Wow. Special thanks, Robert Tappert, Renaissance Pictures. Officer Julio Tuna Endara. That's kind of awesome.
Oh, he actually composed the music to that film too.
Nice.
He also did the music for Conan the Barbarian back in
Oh,
82.
wow.
The Destroyer in 84. Oh, Red Dawn in 84.
Wow.
Iron Eagle. Oh, RoboCop. Dang.
Nice.
Oh, look at this. Here you go. He did the music for Twilight Zone between 1985 and 1987.
There we go.
There's that vibe. That's where it was coming from.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was a
Yeah.
damn fun movie.
He also did the music for Hunt for Red October.
Oh.